Okay, Kayla, back to you. What you got? Let's go into it some more if we can.
Yes. So, well, first, I want to say, like, thank you for sharing that. I know that it's difficult in sharing that you did get help. I know that for a lot of people, it's very difficult. People in the military specifically, I know that a lot of us are very strong, but a lot of us also believe that we are too strong and we don't want to get that help. So, in sharing that, I liked that. I'm glad you were able to get that help and to, share that you do have like an open door policy where you want people to go to you if they need that help. That's good as well because I noticed that a lot of people are not open. I feel like as human beings, it's not normal to be closed off. We crave human connection. We crave those relationships and to be able to talk to people. So it's good to be able to be that person for a lot of people.
Yeah, have you ever been in a situation, you and Christian, where, somebody says, "I got an open door." You know it ain't no thing, man. It's a
It's
Yeah.
trap.
not.
Yeah. Oh, it's
Exactly.
absolute trap. Bro,
Exactly.
man, you speaking to the choir on that one, man.
Exactly. The amount of times I've heard that and it's like, actually, it's not open door. Do not talk to me.
Yeah, it's
On
like
paper, it looks good, right? But in reality, that's not the case. That's why when you said that, I was like, okay, you sound like you genuinely have that open door where you are able to talk to your people.
yes.
So
At this
that's
point in
really
my
good.
career,
I love to hear that.
I will say this, it really is. I think you can do this at any point, but for me in particular, at this point in time in my career, I'm just like, dude, and the things that I've been through and situations like the thing with the stuff with Kevin, I was like, no, dude, like I'm gonna be authentically me. If someone has something that they need and I can help them through it, I don't care the cost. I'm willing to I'm not going to say miss that deadline. Dude, I will drop everything from the calendar. When I tell you I'll be sitting there working, somebody will walk down and be like, "Hey, gee, what's up? You got a yeah, what's up?"
Yep. I stopped typing. I stopped typing.
Everything,
Everything's off, right?
everything. I don't even care. I'll just it's done.
Mm-hmm.
You in the
Hey,
middle of a
today,
you in the middle of an email to the commander, right? I've done it. I'll be like,
Yep.
okay, what's up? You know,
yep.
Yep.
you gotta
And
be that
let's
available.
talk and let's go ahead and because you just because my anxiety is what if I miss an opportunity for the next person, the next Kevin, and I don't, and I'm not there, and I could
Yep.
have been there. I just can't have that. I can't have that on my conscience. No, absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely.
And another part of that, Kate, I'm glad you brought this up, that open door policy, because again, a lot of people float that around. Shout out to my girl, Natalia Commons. She used to say this all the time. She was like, what good is an open door if nobody walks through it?
Mm.
If they don't feel that that is genuine, they've seen something or they heard something and they had an experience, they've been burned by going through that door before, and all of a sudden they don't want to go. Nobody goes through it. She's like, "What good is that open door policy? It's no good, right?" So, I have anxiety on that, and she taught me that that burned inside me, and I was like, "No, I always have an open door policy. I don't even have an office. I have this little cubicle thing going on, and I'm just like, and they walk, it's already open to them, so it could be, it could be
Open
Turbo, like
space.
it could be Nazarowski, like he comes in there every now all the time. He was like just to check in on me, right, and see how I'm doing, because he knows I'm going through something right now. So it works the other way too, because the more you open up about to them, they feel they realize some things about you, and they know when you're not right. So
Mm-hmm.
they know that I'm going through a storm right now myself, because it's heavy where I'm at. So they come by, and it's the other way around. They're not coming to dump something off on me or talk. They're coming to check on me. So if you open yourself up, people will recognize when things aren't right with you, and they check in with you. They know your battles too. So it works both
Mm-hmm.
ways if you make yourself available and vulnerable to them.
That is
So
your tip.
yeah, man, it works both ways. There's a mutual benefit. Like you said, Kayla, like we're humans, like we connect that way. I am constantly fighting to connect to people. That is my thing. That is my gift, my God given gift. I gotta connect to you. If I can't connect to you, I got nothing for you.
Mm-hmm.
Cannot fight 100% of that battle because I can't connect to your heart. That's just how I am. So I have to make sure that I'm connected to them and to create that two-way channel. And it happens that way. If you're good at it, and you get that two-way channel, and they'll come and check on you. They'll take some of that off of your plate. It's like, look, I'm a youngster. I'm a 20-year-old. I have no idea about take this point off. I could take this little thing off your plate, right? I can at least listen. And they do listen. So
Mm-hmm.
I can appreciate that. And that I feel like that's a really good thing to establish an open door policy works both ways. It's not just one way.
Mhm.
I agree,
Percent.
and that hey, that open door from and not to get in a time machine, but me and Christian, we know, like being from our time at different units, at different combat units, man, we know how that open door was. I remember we walking past, we in the trailer, do not go in there. It's a trap. You will be
They're lying to you.
a lot of people. Oh, come on, let's go talk. Let's talk. Let's talk. And then they just
Yeah.
writing stuff down. They just, you're like, next thing you know, you can't, hey, nah, he can't fly. Take his flight paid. Let's do
Yeah, it is.
Mhm.
It is not a skiff.
it is not a skiff and nothing
It's
is
not a
protected
skiff.
or nothing.
Yeah.
So that open door, like you said, that two-way street is definitely a big thing that we need to, I think, within our communities and where we are, just open up and, like you said, Kay, the human connection is
Do you believe that your struggles kind of have formed your values, morals, as well as your personality, or have had any significance to you as a person?
yeah, of course. I mean, the different things that I've gone through has undoubtedly shaped, my character and who I am now. I'm such a different person. I mean, Chris could tell you, man, when you first met me to now, how, just thoughtful I am and how, and my wife will say this all the time. You're one of them, you care about yourself so much. You're narcissistic, you know. You just that's all you care about is yourself. Wow. You never put anybody before, it's just you. And I'm like, no, man. So yes, I have completely been shaped by that. And those different things that people have said to me, like her, she has been a champion in my corner. Megan has been a rock,
Mhm.
made me into a better husband, father, friend. She's challenged me. She's called me out so many different times. She's like Kevin. Like Kevin's like the big ups. She's like what's something that she said to me? I was like, oh yeah, my real friends, blah blah. Megan said, you ain't got no real friends. They don't even know nothing about you. I'm like, damn.
Preach.
I was like, what you talking about? She was like, you never even let people really in.
Yeah,
I had
Mm.
oh
I
this many years before I
they
even
ain't been
really
at the
really
house.
knew. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
Dang.
I was like,
Look,
really? But
2
2.0,
girl preach. Yes, that's so
that
true.
2.0.
that candid, like she challenges me in those aspects. Like if somebody truly know you, you preaching what you say, like who knows you like that? Who knows these different trials and tribulations? Who knows that you went through what you together. Who knows, and some of those sensitive areas, it's hard for me to share being where I'm from because people where I'm from, if you share, those vulnerabilities, that's weakness. I'm just being honest. That's how they look at it where I'm from and how I was brought up. You can't be
Mhm.
crying. You can't be, this
Can't
guy
show
that
weakness.
you
Can't
you
you
you will
can't.
get you will get rolled up
Yep.
and they're gonna try you.
Yeah,
And
pack
you're
you
gonna
up.
like
Pack you up real quick.
look and see what we have to understand a lot of times the things that we do and how we are a product of those different events, life events, and things that we've gone through that kind of shape how we interact with this world.
Mhm.
So it's hard to retrain that brain. That's why mental health and talking to a psychologist and a therapist, you can retrain and reprogram this right here. Because this right here, I'm in control of this. This is not control. This is controlling all this, but I control what do I want to happen? What outcomes do I want? Right. And then I have to reprogram this to actually see the world in a vastly different way. So I know I went off on a tangent. I'm sorry.
No, it's good, it's
Very
good.
passionate about this topic in general.
Mhm.
Yeah, that makes. I mean, it makes sense, man. Just to letting folks know that they're not alone out there, right? They might be going through something right now as we're speaking, right? All over the world, somebody's going through that, and then somebody can hear this and say, "Dang, man, that's like I'm going through that right now. That's relevant. Like all of this is relevant." So again, it's that connectedness that we're trying to establish with everybody. So just getting to their hearts and saying, "No, you're not alone. You're not suffering. Do not suffer in silence. Like say something." Find somebody you really trust and really get that out because that again that can make the difference between being here today and being here tomorrow. A lot of people don't realize like the second and third and fourth effects that happen, when somebody decides to make that call. You know what I mean? It's really detrimental. They don't think they matter until, whatever. All that stuff is like, dang, man, like real for real. So again, I'm paranoid about that too. Like I try to reach out and connect to everybody. I tell them how much I appreciate them. I tell them how much I love them. Like, cause that matters too. Some people don't feel like they're loved in this world. I was like, no,
Mhm.
dude, you're not just here to turn a wrench for me, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm carrying you, you're carrying me. We got to carry this together. You got to know that I care about you. I love you, man. Like I'm securing my masculinity to be able to say that.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I ain't
Hey,
worried
hey,
about it.
hey,
Some
look,
people need to
Kevin,
hear that, man.
look, bro, Kevin, he just made me infinitely secure in my masculinity. Cause this dude used to be like, man, you hand.
We're
I've been
human at
like,
the end of the day. We're human at the end of the
how
day.
many, how
Yes.
many, this dude's like 46, man. And he
Six
just be
feet
like, "Man, you
five. And
a handsome brother.
I love you, bro.
You be like,
What you gonna say? How tall? I'm 6 foot one. I'm gonna say six, somebody 6'5" say, I love you, dog. You be
I
like,
love you, man. Hey, man,
man,
you a
please don't do
handsome
anything. Please
brother,
don't hurt
man.
me,
Like,
man.
he's like, and I'm just like, what?
Yes.
But the good part is like the definitely changed, like Christian said, man. These different interactions have definitely changed, just the attributes, what I'm made of, my character, and how I interact with the world. So
Mhm.
the journey that each of us are on will change us. It just how it changes you. And I believe that it is a lot of it is your determination and a choice of how you want to let it kind of shape you.
Mhm.
Right. And it's how you look at it, an opportunity versus a setback. Right.
Mhm.
I took that moment with Kevin as an opportunity to get the help that I needed. In conjunction with Megan, right? Like I say, you gotta have people around you that's challenging you to kind of like, hey, don't go further into this deep black hole. I want you to come out. We need you here. We need you for this family. We need, you're somebody's son, somebody's daughter, somebody's, friend. It's a challenge. So it has definitely shaped a lot of who I am now. And I'm just appreciative of the journey and where I'm at right now.
That's good. That's good. Okay. One last question for you. Do you believe that hardship is necessary? And with that, how do you think society can be better with hardships?
Is hardship necessary? Man, the part of me that wants to be on the easy street says no. But honestly, I think it is, man, because I have through the hardships of growing up how I did, going through life to where I am, and being where I am right now, I just sincerely appreciate, the life that I have. And without going through those things, would I still appreciate it? I just don't know. That is a multiverse question, right? Like I
Mhm.
imagine there's a multiverse out there where the other side of me didn't have to deal with any trials, any tribulation. Everything's just given to me. Everything's on the silver platter. And I
Yeah.
just go through life without any problems. But that's not reality, right? We all have those different struggles and things that we go through. And it, is it necessary? I don't know if the word is necessary. It's a part of the journey. I'm not going to say necessary. The journey is going to entail some type of setback and or struggle. And it's how you navigate and respond to it. That is what makes you who you are. You have to literally internalize it, think about it, move forward. Okay, I encountered this setback. I'll tell you a setback that I encountered way back in the day when I was an airman. I have this talk every time I go talk to F Tech, not Tech, right? They changed it.
They did.
FTC versus F Tech. So they changed it, right? So I go in there and I talk to these young, fresh, brand new airmen, and I like to always tell the story about my CDCs, right? And how when I first came into the military, I was like, how many people think I got my job choice. So the recruiter didn't lie to me. Everybody said the recruiter lied. The recruiter didn't lie. He probably said what he said, and I just didn't hear it. I heard what I want to hear. You know, a lot of us are in that mode. We hear what we want to hear. Right, right.
Million dollar
So
bonus.
I'm sitting back and I remember him saying, "Hey, go open general and you can get any job that you want." Well, guess what? When I had two jobs on there that I could pick, it was security forces and or supply management. I was like, well, I don't want to go to security force. I'm gonna do supply management.
Yeah.
And when I
Okay.
was dude, look, nothing against security force.
That's
I
just
Not
your
love
a
story. That's
terrible
just your
gig.
story, man.
security forces,
Yep.
like, you
I
know,
need them.
maybe in
Right. You
hindsight,
need
because I
them.
some of my best friends are in security forces and they match my personality. So you know, in hindsight, I mean, it would have been a different way. But at the time in basic training, I'm like, well, I'm gonna go do this. Even though I don't know what it is, I guess I'll just go do it. So I am young Airman Rouser hitting McCord Air Force Base. And you gotta understand at the time being from New Orleans, being from the NOLA, going up to the Pacific Northwest and being in that granola eating mountain country,
No
I didn't
magnolia
know.
trees, babe.
And look, man, I was in the middle of nowhere. So my passion at the time was the main reason why I kind of joined the military, or the catalyst for me kind of like wanting to serve, was I was like, I got to get college paid for, because you got to understand,
Mm.
my
Mhm.
mom, you know, didn't have the money to put me through no college. I was on Pell Grant and student loans. And by the way, still catching public transportation, and I don't have no apartment, no nothing. I'm still living at home with my mom's, right? And I'm over 18. So I just felt compelled to, like, what can get me out of the situation the fastest in order to
Mhm.
realize some of my dreams and aspirations and kind of pay for college without going into a ton of debt. Because even back then, that loomed large over my decision. So I was like, okay, I'll join the military. Join the military, get out there. And young Airman Rouser at the time, they had no controls in place for signing up for tuition assistance. They had no controls. It was just basically you go in there, you didn't have to take an education brief, nothing. You just gotta go in there, put the school, get the money, here you go. And I was like, hey, let's go, baby. I'm gonna sign up for, you know, 3, 4 classes. I ain't worried about them damn CDCs. Forget them CDCs. I don't want to do this job anyway. I'm
Mhm.
good. And matter of fact, this job's so easy, I don't even have to put my mind to it. I'm just gonna do what I do. It don't matter to me. I'm going my CDC, and dude, I would look at, you got to do your UREs, your unit review exercises and stuff. Man, I'm looking at answers. I'm just doing my thing, and it comes time for the EOC, right? Come time for the EOC. I'm like, yeah, I'm ready. Whatever. You only need, I think it was a 60.
65? Is it 65 to pass the CDCs? Yep. It was
So
65
they
back
were like,
then.
Browser's smart. He gonna get like a 90 and get a day off. No.
His
Not
his
gonna
mind
happen. So I go in there, man, and I look at this test, and it was on a computer, and
might
man,
as well have been what? French? It might as well have been French.
I bombed that test like nobody's
Yes,
business.
if you
I
could.
got like I think I got like a 60, so I was like 2 questions from passing. But
It didn't matter, man.
it was a critical moment, because if I wouldn't have failed it, it really wouldn't have put me on a trajectory that I'm on now. Because it made me come to grips, because I was like, okay, I failed it. I was like, what? I was like, okay, so what's next? They were like, all right, cool. You can no longer sit on the floor. We got to do these, you know, second, third,
Man, yeah.
sixth. I was like, what, man,
Penalty box.
dude? And then
Humbled you.
dude, my supervisor at the time was like, hey, bro, you might end up having to go back home and getting out the military. I was like, really? And they were like, yeah. So they had a guy beforehand. He failed his CDCs, but the old commander could sign a waiver where he could just do OJT or something like that. So he ain't have to worry about it. But the new commander was like, we ain't doing that. You will either pass or you gotta go. So I didn't know that. Yep, I was timing, right? Time is everything. I got called in the commander's office. I'm a young airman. They were like, hey, you need to be in your blues, blah, blah. You need to meet with the commander. I was like, meet the commander about what? You failed your CDC, you were the commander. So I'm meeting with the commander. And one critical part of the story that I left out. I failed. I meet with the commander the next day. So I call my mom. I call my mom. I call Mary Rouse. I said, hey, mom. She's like, yeah, how's everything going up there? I said, mom, I don't think it's going too good.
She's like,
She said, what you mean? I said, I don't know if it's going too good. I think, I might be coming home soon. Mary Rouser said some of the most strongest words. Like this lady's, oh my God. Even to this day, it gives me anxiety just thinking about it. She said, and I quote verbatim, she said, hey, you can't come back here. I don't know.
yeah.
So you gotta make
Yup.
it work out there.
Yeah, man.
And literally click.
Oh,
That's it.
man.
She
Look.
said, "Figure it out."
Yeah,
And
look,
I
talk
was
about
like,
hardship. Yeah. Talk about resiliency. Yeah.
but I picked back up the phone. I call her back.
Like, is
No
the signal
answer.
lost? Yeah, it was like, did we lose signal?
I was like,
No
I
mo,
know
though.
you lying. Dude,
Nope.
She's funny. She funny for that.
Yeah. That's the
I
truth.
was
That's the
mad.
most
I
truth we
was
got.
mad because first of all, I didn't even want to be up there in the first place. And I was kind of probably looking for a reason to, whatever. But she hung up on me and said, you better figure it out because you can't come back here. And that's just tough love. That is the toughest love I mean, that is damn tough.
Mhm.
So all right, now fast forward. That was a critical part. So I'm in his office and, Aaron Rouse reports the story. He's like, he was very candid. He said, you know what? He said, cut this. Do you want to be here or not? First of all, never heard an officer talk like that
Most of
at
them
this
don't.
time.
Most of them don't.
And he just looked me dead in my eye and was like, what do you want? And my knee jerk I want to be here. And he was like, okay. He said, no problem. He said, I will give you another opportunity to test. If you fail again, you're going.
That's old school right
Pressure.
there. That's old school right
Pressure.
there. That's old
Bro.
school, man.
Now understand this. My volumes of CDCs, I had not really studied at all. I had been applying myself to the three
That's
classes.
awful.
The three
Look,
classes nobody knew I was taking. Nobody knew I was taking these three classes. Nobody knew I was taking these three classes on top of my CDC. So now I had to divert my attention
Mm,
to the CDCs. And when I tell this story to FTech, they're just like, you're a chief. You passed. You did
yeah,
this. You
you
did
did
that. I was
everything right
like,
the first time. Wrong.
no, actually,
Wrong.
no, wrong.
Got it
Big
wrong
one.
more than right.
Yeah. So fast forward, obviously, I'm still here. So obviously, I didn't fail at
yep.
that time. But dude, that was such a critical character shaping moment in that time because I would correlate it to walking a tightrope with no net at the bottom. Because my mom had me thinking, she was like, you ain't coming back here. And then where I was gonna go. So but in retrospect, in her old age now, she was like, oh, I was gonna David, I was lying. I was gonna let you come back. Come on, man. You was not letting me. You already said no. You said I wasn't coming back and all this other stuff, but it really supercharged you gotta rely on yourself. You gotta make sure you gotta put in the work and the effort and you gotta be relentless in your pursuit of your goals.
Mhm.
Nobody's coming to save you. Nobody's coming to help you. You better make it happen because this
Mhm.
is your one and only shot. And I truly believed at that time, this is my one and only shot. If I end up back in New Orleans as a discharged airman from the Air Force, a loser, and this is just, I'm talking about myself. I'm
Return.
not talking about anybody else.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah,
I'm
Yep.
man.
talking about myself. I'm not projecting on anybody else. I was just like, I can't do that. And I was just like, I'm gonna give my best foot forward. And that just really supercharged my ability to focus, study. I was like, I'm never gonna fail any Air Force training ever again. And that paved the way for when I retrained and went into other career fields that I was like, it's no way I'm fitting. Dude, I would stay up all night long. You think I will do whatever it takes in order to not fail. So some of these lessons and these hard, things that I've gone through has really fortified my ability to, I'm going to make this happen.
Mhm.
I'm going to do whatever it takes. And it's not going to be because of lack of trying. And that's what it was in the beginning. It was like, oh, I'm going to do what I want to do when I want to do it. No, the world don't work that way, man. You're going to have to go ahead and conform to some things and understand that some things takes precedence over another. You gotta learn the priority of things and how to put it in the correct priority order, or you will pay the price.
Yeah, either pay it forward or you're gonna pay it in the rear. Like you gotta pay it.
Yep.
There's a bill to be paid. So you need the hardship. You really do. You really
Alright.
do. So I would probably add to that because it's like a wise man kind of taught me like if God in the universe told me ahead of time when I was a kid, hey, in order for you to get where you get, you will have to go through all this. I probably would have turned the other way and said, okay, let's not go through that and let's find another route
Mm.
and try and get wherever. But again, the hardships create the character. So again, everybody's going to have hardship. Everybody's going to go through suffering and struggle through that, through life. That's the process. That's the thing we call living, right? It's what you do with it that defines you as a person. It's how you learn. Trust me, I struggle throughout my whole life with who I am as a person versus who I had to be, who I had to showcase. I struggle with that today, right? People are like, "Damn, you're a completely different person when you're not in uniform." Or it's like, "Yeah, I have a duality, right? There's a whole other side of me that you guys will never know if you just saw me at work, right? It's a whole other, I'm a whole different person because you got to carry yourself a certain way, you got certain things to appeal to, that's a part of the hardship that I had to traverse. So I'm glad that you shared that, man. Like now I'm trying to show my kids the hardship, but it's like it's different.
Yep, bro. Hey, these kids, man, look, man, it's Candyland out here for the kids, man. It's Candyland. I will tell you how I get them to understand hardship is through sports. That's my way to kind of teach these hard lessons on the soccer field with my daughter and my other kids through sports because they will
It's not
they
the same.
comprehend.
It's not
They're
the
not
same.
look, they're not gonna call me up and be like, "Dad, I'm coming home," and I click on them. That's not gonna happen, man.
Or dad, I'm gonna take the bus home. No, you
No,
ain't. It's like, no,
no.
you
I
ain't.
mean, it's just not gonna happen. It's a different
Yeah,
lifestyle. The hardships that made me who I am, they're gonna have a different set of hardships.
different. Yeah, they
Mhm.
got a different set of problems.
But hey, here's the very key critical piece that people forget. My hardships may seem vast and grand, but your hardships and what you've gone through is just as equally jarring. It does not matter. Like people like to compare, like, oh, this and that.
Up the hill
No,
in the
dude,
snow,
in your mind, in your head, this is the worst thing that has ever happened,
and
right?
that's what matters.
And your body goes through these physiological changes the same way that mine went through what I went through. It doesn't matter that I grew up in, the lower ninth ward and you grew up in the suburbs and whatever. When you saw what you saw, it still gave you that reaction, that fight or flight, that problem. So people get caught up in comparing, but it's not really about comparing. It's about what you are and what you see that affects you. You know? So you just
Mhm.
gotta realize that just because you went through something that people would consider infinitely harder, it doesn't mean that that person's not going through hard times as well and things that will change them. So my kids personally, will they have to, catch public transportation? Probably not. Will they have to worry about me hanging up on them and not being there for them? Probably not. These different things won't shape them the way that it shaped me. But there will have moments where, like just recently, my daughter didn't get on the basketball team. She tried out. The coach was like, "Oh yeah, yeah, she's gonna be great." And then her name was left off the list. And dude, woo-wee,
Mm.
that disappointment hit her like nobody's business. But I saw what I saw in myself. I looked her in her eyes and I saw fire. I saw it just like she's like, whatever it takes. And for me, that hit me right here because I looked her in her eyes and I saw I'm going to get on this team. And I was like, oh, I was like, okay. And that's the same thing I said back in the day. I was like, oh, no, you ain't gonna have me come back to New Orleans
And not return the sender
looking
to
like a
me.
fool. No, no, no. I'm not. I'm gonna come back on my own accord. You're not gonna make me come back. All right, hold up. I'm gonna do everything it takes. And I see that in her. She has that intestinal fortitude. She's gonna do whatever it takes. She's like, I want this. I'm gonna go get it.
Mm.
That's the hardship.
Nope, that was the last question. It was really good. Yeah. Like I can say with my little brother, yes, we have the same parents, but we are not being raised by the same parents. Same
Parents.
people, different parents.
Agree. That happens.
Yep, like, I grew up with a completely different mom and dad, and, at the time, there was, like, 5 kids in the household, right? And for some of that part, my mom was a stay-at-home mom, and my dad was working. He's in the army. So he's military. That's kind of where I got my want to be in the military is from him. And so in that household, it was very strict because my mom was like, I'm home, we're cleaning, we're doing this, this is what's happening. And then my dad would come home and he's like, listen to your mother. And
If you know what's good for you.
and that's what's good was that he never took work home. He's been in for a while and he's a CW4. So the thing with me was that he never took work home and he was always just like, all right, your mom's like, she's got she's the
A
boss of the
hammer.
house.
Yep.
Yep. And then now my little brother, only him in the house. Everyone's moved out. He's significantly younger than the rest of us. He's in middle school, and we're all like adults with like lives and jobs and stuff. And they're really laid back now. And that's because they're also not taking care of 5 kids. So there's that. But I'm just looking,
He's
I'm
getting
like,
away
you
with
got
everything.
2 different parents. I
Yeah, he
said,
watching movies, he eating
mm-hmm.
candy,
What's
he
Macaulay
doing
Yep.
Culkin say? Yeah, you better try and stop
Yep.
me.
no, he
Yep,
doing
and he'll, like, make jokes with my mom, and, growing up, I never, like, joked around with my mom because she was always so stressed out, and she always had to put, like, this serious, like, face on, and I see him, like, my little brother, he just acts a fool, and they're like, "Yeah, it doesn't really, like, matter like that anymore," and I'm like, "What? What? You're letting this kid just eat ice cream for breakfast sometimes, and, you stay," and, like, I used to have, like, a time limit on electronics. My parents are like, "Yeah, but it's the weekend." And I'm like, "What?
Yeah, it's different.
dude.
What is
That's how
going
it is.
on?"
That's how it is. That's how it
Yeah.
is. Like with my son, same way. He is getting the very best. And what I mean by best is just over the trials and tribulations of raising other kids. He just gets that, "Oh, it's okay. Let me support him. Let me pick him up. Let me do this." The girls, I was like, we have this plan. Oh man,
Blasey, blasey, blah.
going
Yeah.
on, going off.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
he gets, he just
It's a different. It's
it's
different.
just different, man.
You learn, you
Well,
learn,
yep.
you
I'm
understand them. Yeah.
I'm at a different point. I'm just like, well,
Yeah, sometimes you just gotta eat ice cream in the morning. I mean,
yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes I mean, cake,
I mean, who
whatever.
cares?
Yep.
Who
Dude, I
really
would
cares?
never let the girls eat
Yep.
cake, but he eats cake sometimes.
This is like,
It
man,
doesn't even want.
I
I
don't
don't
have
want to fight
time.
with this dude.
Yeah,
I don't want to fight with this dude, man. If this dude's like, Daddy, I'll be like, all right, man, come on.
yeah.
Are you gonna put your shoes on? Are you gonna put your shoes on? Yes. All right, here you go.
Yep.
It is what it is.
Well, again, in hindsight, kid hardship is not the same, but it has the same gravity. So that
Yes.
is a
Yep.
lesson there for those out there in the world. So we'll open up the vault. I think we got it all down here. So again, thanks for your input, B. I'll go next on the next episode round or whatever Kayla wants to ask me. I'll go up and we'll do the thing. For out there in the audience, we'll never ask you guys to do something that we can't or won't do. So we will continue to live by that promise. We will live by that mantra and always be vulnerable to you guys. So with that, if you ever have any questions or situations that you would like to share or you like Makayla to ask us and we can give you guys advice, then feel free to add them in the comments. But on that note, we thank you for the joy and the pain that you guys are going to share with us in the future. And always remember that a lot of things have happened in your life that you would probably consider bad, but a lot of things could have happened that could have taken you out from this world and it didn't. So be grateful and thankful for the day. So with that being said, we thank you and we will see you guys on the next one.